Here's your host for Entertainment and Life, Thomas Bond.
Welcome everybody to another edition to Entertainment and Life. It's good to be back. I haven't been on in a month, which is normal for me now. We have a good show for you. Before or the last couple of shows, I didn't know how to use my new editor, and we had either old ones or no film clips. Now we have 4 new film clips. They're not great, but they haven't been shown before. We have area attractions, a lot of movie reviews, and just a little on life. It will be a short show. We won't take an hour. All right, let's get into area attractions. I didn't get all of them on the paper, but here's a few of them. South Pacific is still playing in good speed. And opening August 11th is Ask for the Moon in Chester, part of Goodspeed. And Maggie in Goodspeed opens August 23rd. Others are Drowsy Chaperone in Westerly. Check the dates on those. A Crosby, Stills, and Nash tribute band comes at the Guard the 15th. At the Cape, you could see the 10th is a Woodstock Experience. The 11th is Frankie Valli Tribute Band. The 13th and 14th is Peter and Paul Without Mary, Peter, Paul, and Mary. And then the 15th is a bluegrass band. That's the only ones I wrote down. There's a lot of things to do this summer. You want to go out and take a lighthouse cruise or a sunset cruise or stuff like that. There's also libraries, films, lectures, tag sales, farmers markets, and music of all kinds. So go out and don't stay at home and watch TV, except, of course, while you're watching my show. All right, we have a first film clip coming up, the Hartford Jazz Festival. I only was able to film part of the jazz because they kept on setting up while I was there. It's 3:25. If that's available, we could show that. This is my entrance to the Jazz Festival in Hartford, Connecticut.
And I'm, again, thankful. And our Secretary, Joyce Hudson, Director of Marketing and Public Relations, the young blood of the group, the one that gives us energy.
This is downtown Hartford. Bushnell Park. That building, I think, is new. I don't know. This is the Bond Apartment Hotel. This is Pratt Street, which is open to the public. No. A lot of these stores are closed up. Need restaurants and other things. Tree has art. Back at Bushnell Park. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. If you weren't there, you can see what it was all about. I happen to not be a big fan of jazz, but I enjoyed it anyways. All right, let's get into movies now. What's playing? How about Deadpool and Wolverine? I gave it an A minus. Great movie, 78.96 by audience. All right, so this movie is a real crowd pleaser that deserves an A minus and also deserves to be doing really good at the box office. All right, so the main thing is that Deadpool and Wolverine are immortals and they cannot die. So they often fight each other by stabbing each other and shooting each other and throwing each other around, but they just they don't get hurt by it. And so I don't know why they keep on shooting each other, but they end up in a like a multi-universe thing where they try to get out of it, but there's one lady in charge of it, and she has powers way beyond theirs, so she can do whatever they want with them. All right, so how about Kind of Kindness? I give it a D. Got a 72 critic and a 49 audience. So I gave it a D, and I really did not like this movie at all. So I hate to say, but I walked out of this movie. I actually walked out of this movie before it ended. See, the movie was like no other. It's split into segments, 3 different segments, and the segments starred one person, but one weird guy that I never heard of before. And then so they were in different stories. So I walked out of the 2, and the third segment was about to begin, and I was in there for almost 2 hours anyways. So the third segment would make it a 3-hour movie, which I couldn't take anyways. So So the first segment is about the CEO of a big corporation. He's rich and everything. He asks a devoted, very devoted employee to smash his car into another car to almost kill him, and practically will kill him. If he does it once, but he wants to do it faster and harder to really put the guy in a hospital on life support or worse. So that's the first segment. And then the second segment stars the same guy, but a different story about a marriage where the guy doesn't believe that his wife is really his wife, even though he acts and looks exactly the same. So, in short, this one scene is where the man asks the wife to cut off her fingers and give them to me for dinner. And that's what she does. She's so devoted, or whatever reason, she cuts off her thumb and feeds it with his dinner. Now, if you still like that movie after that, go rent it. I don't care, but I don't like it. All right, Harold and the Purple Crayon. I give it a B. Got a 25 critic rating, but a 92% by audience. So I kind of more agree with the audience on this. I can see why critics don't like it. It's a silly story about a character from a book that finds a way to come to Earth. He comes to Earth with his two animal friends. One is a moose, not a real moose, and the other is a porcupine that turns into a girl. So he figures out on Earth, he doesn't know much, first of all, and not used to the customs and the way people do things, so he gets a little bit confused. Now, somebody tells him he should be looking for his father. So, but he doesn't know where the father is or anything else like that. He runs into a nice, generous lady who has a son, and they take him in for a couple of nights at her house. With his crayon, he can create practically anything. He comes up with a giant bug that can fly around. Later on, he creates an airplane. He fixes a tire by just drawing it. He has a battle scene with an enemy at the end of the movie. So I thought it was funny. I thought it was creative. I thought they did a good job at it. But I don't think, I think children gave it a 92 critic rating. I don't know if every audience will love it as much as Deadpool. All right, we're up to a film club. And finally have one in between movies. This is the MGM Casino in Springfield. I can only film a few seconds of it inside, or I didn't even really try. I just was curious about what it looked like on the outside. If you haven't been there, you could see what it looks like. It's not as prominent as Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun, but anyways, it's not very good, but take a look at it. Are you there? We are on the top level of MGM Casino in Springfield, Massachusetts. The view of the above the casino is not as pretty as I was hoping for. No big hotels. You did mention that castle right there. There it says casino, and the restaurant over there. And another castle tower. Just air conditioners here. There's plenty of casino parking in the parking lot, 8 stories high. And then that right there is 91 and the Connecticut River. Easy access in. Here's the casino from ground level, but most people take the parking lot to get in. Here is valet parking, which people take, but most people do the self-parking right over there. Here's the market from down ground level. I don't dare try to film inside the casino. I don't know if these 2 buildings here are part of the casino or not. I thought there was a hotel. It says community access media. So I don't know what they do here. Bowling? I don't dare get any closer to the casino than this. There's the sign to the hotel. Comedy Club at Roar. Outdoor stage. Oh, never knew they had those out here. All right, I guess that was the end. I know if I was a good reporter, they would sneak their camera in, film the people playing the slot machines, and they do have a, 8 or 10 theater for the children while the adults play the slot machines. And they have a whole bunch of restaurants and other things that besides the gambling. I know people that go to the casino every week probably never walked around and saw that there was an outdoor concert or a Laugh Factory in the back. All right, let's go into more movies now. How about Horizon? I gave it a B, got a 49 critic and a 71% by audience. So this is a movie about a whole group of different people traveling west after the Civil War, and we see them in building a settlement or a settlement is already built, normally of not of brick or stone, but of tarp. And then there's, it should be pointed out, there's one segment, not the whole movie, but one segment where the Native Americans burned down a settlement, and there's another segment where not the army or anything, but a group of renegades, they raid and slaughter the Native Americans from a different tribe. It wasn't a bad Western. It's pretty good. I'm not looking forward to part 2. Hopefully it'll be better. All right, Fly Me to the Moon. I give it a B. Got a 67 critic and an 89% by audience. So I enjoyed this movie. So I'm sorry that it didn't make more at the box office because everybody does a good job. So it's really about this sales agent who tries to convince the American public and the senators and other officials that spending money to let somebody fly to the moon was a good idea. So Scarlett Johansson, she does a good job. She comes up with ads like Tang and these watches and even underwear that go segment to segment with the space program. And so there is a segment where they make a fake moon landing, which is done for humor and other things. So I don't know if all that is comes from truth, but they say it's partially true. All right, Long Legs. I give it a B. Got an 87 critic, 63% by audience. Now, I usually avoid these serial killer movies, but this one was actually pretty well made done. So it's about this FBI agent that tries to solve the crimes or tries to solve this serial killer that kills people brutally house by house. Now, she gets some ideas and she gets some clues and tries to figure it out. And now, Nicolas Cage, as the serial killer, has just a small part, but it's very, he does a good job. Let's just put it that way. A Quiet Place, day 1. I give it a B+. Again, an 87 critic, 73% by audience. So in this movie, it's day 1, and New York is invaded by these alien creatures that fall from the sky. So you know what the alien creatures look like, and they're kind of a little stupid because all they do is look for a sound, and if they see a person or hear a person, they tear them up to shreds. I don't even think they eat them. I think they're just trying to take over the world and by killing all the people, and all they can do by doing that is hearing them without sight. It is an exciting, adventurous movie that you are both horrifying and on the edge of your seat by. It's the movie is about this one black lady that survives by being quiet and telling other people to be quiet. And then there's she meets a man, and they both run around New York trying to survive. All right, we're up to another film clip. We still have more movies to review. This is Go-Karts in Berlin, Connecticut. It's just a thing I do on summer. I think there's a couple of places around here. I know Foxwoods has go-karts and zip line and a whole bunch of other things. Oh, and of course, the arcade games. But anyways, here's, it's 2 minutes and 8 seconds. If that's available, we could run that. The Berlin Turnpike Fun Zone. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. Now, I remember, I haven't been there 20 years, but I remember the place where there was I don't know what road it was, but it was like 10 miles north of New London that had go-karts and ice cream stand and batting cages and other things like that. All right, now more movies. Twisters, I give it a B+. Got a 75 critic rating and a 91% by audience. Now, this one is exciting to watch. Let me tell you that first. But it's, in my mind, far from the original, which I liked a lot better. Now, one thing I did not like about this movie, and it happens in almost all movies, so I don't know why it upset me with this one instead of other movies, but in almost all romance movies, they dislike or even hate each other at the beginning of the movie, and then in this movie, even though they dislike each other or say they dislike each other, this guy keeps on pursuing this girl, and they then they start to like each other, then they start to love each other, just like every other movie. But this one, the guy was just annoying, like no other. So this one has just as many special effects as the original, but different. Doesn't have them running through a house, or it does have lawn equipment dropping on them and other things, but that's another part. All right, Despicable Me 4. I give it a B. Got a 56 critic, 88% by audience. Now, I was never a huge fan of these Despicable movies, but I enjoy them. I think they're kid-friendly and except I think they pretty much happened in all the Despicable movies. Each character hates each other and does mean tricks or mean tricks play on each other. Certainly that includes every single minion. If you saw the commercial, it sticks them up the food vendor and then throws a can of... It's supposed to be funny. It is funny, but it's mean too. So that made me dislike it more. Plus, that was only half the movie. There's also the main plot of the movie is this mean girl next door who tries to blackmail Drew, the main character, into doing stealing something, going on a heist and stealing something. So that's that. How about the Fabulous 4? I give that a D. Got a 27 critic rating. So despite some famous movie stars that are past their prime, I thought everybody did a pretty bad job. But mostly, all right, here's the story. They're 4 old friends, and one of them is having a second marriage in, I believe, what was it? Some famous, not famous, but let's call it Long Island Sound or something. Just a resort area. And then, so one of them's getting married and for the second time. The first marriage, the bridesmaid of the groom used to date and fall in love with the first husband, but and then then the wife eloped with him. So half the movie is them arguing. I hate you so much for stealing my boyfriend, if you understood anything I said there. So that was the thing of the movie, them arguing. All right, so opening is this weekend is Borderland, Cuckoo, and it ends with Us. Don't have the ratings yet. Next week is another Aliens movie. All right, we're up to another film clip. It's Rails to Trails in Southeastern, Connecticut. Sorry, not many from Southeastern Connecticut. This is 3:30. It's another one that's not very good, but I hope you enjoy it better than me talking all the time. If that's available, we could run that. We are at one of many Southeastern parking lots to the Rails to Trails. And this way is a brand new trail all look at later. So this is the road that you take without a trail. It takes Route 10, 202, to Southeastern, going north for a few miles. So there is no trail, just roads to a busy street. So this is the trail that is brand new this year.
Excuse me, what are you recording for?
Some kids just stopped me and said, "Why am I filming?" And I said, "Public access TV." Only one kid out of 10 knew what public access TV said. My mother watches that sometimes. Okay, so it looks like I hiked half a mile or less. And then over here, it looks like near the end of the new trail. So I was wrong. It looks like the trail goes on and on. And just remember that most of this was heavy forested brushes and very hard to hike. You know, you got thorns and everything else in you, so it's not even worth it. Once again, around the corner though, this road was here and it takes you to a shopping center and other places. I wanted everybody to see the old water tower and trail. Well, it looks like this is the end of the trail that they've finished so far, and I'm pretty tired walking all that distance. I think I'll go on a little bit further if I can. Right off the trail is this structure, and I can't figure out exactly what it is. It looks like a parking lot, but for what? And then you got this orange thing that looks like a ramp, but it's not. So the trail ends right before or after the Cumberland Farms. And there is no official parking spot in the new trail, but there are these parking spots if you want to park illegally. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. Now we're back to life, and then I have to mention a few things. First of all, life is weird. We're always trying to go on a diet. I start one, but especially yesterday, I don't have any breakfast, first of all. I rarely, today was an exception. I went to Burger King and had breakfast, but normally, besides a Diet Coke, that's all I have for breakfast. Don't even stop for iced coffee, which I like a lot more than I did a few years ago. But anyways, I do have at least two dinners, one snacking and the other one cooking up a frozen pizza or something, small frozen pizza. But I do a lot of snacking at night. So when I got out of the hospital, I was in the hospital for a week, and I know I lost a few pounds there, and I was able to stay on a diet, and I know I lost over 5 pounds, but I just went back to the doctors, and they weighed me, and I gained that 5 pounds back. All right. Now, I haven't mentioned this in detail yet, but if you haven't noticed yet, I'm growing a beard. And I started growing it in January or February, and it was just a goatee before, and then I let the sideburns grow, which is smart because I didn't know it wouldn't look good because it takes long to grow the sideburns and other things. So I really haven't got too many comments on the beard yet. I know it makes me look different in some ways. And when I look in the mirror, I look how fat I am. And I also look at a beard too. I don't know how long I'm going to grow it. I said I was going to grow it until the end of the year. But I don't know what I'm going to do with it, trim it or not. All right, most guys that have beards trim it. All right, now I am just talked to a financial advisor. He already saw me, he came to my house and coming to my house next week for a third time. And he set up my Social Security and my Medicare for me. Now, I know it might be stupid, but I found him by probably you got a phone call or two if you're turning 65 or you're turning 64. It's unsolicited phone call I got. People call me up at random saying, we found out that you're going to be turning 65 in a few months. We'll give you a free financial advisor to help you on your way in this difficult time. And I didn't have anybody, so I took a chance. I gave him a lot of information. He hasn't stole from me yet. So he gets his money by there's many different Medicare companies or Social Security companies that, and he gets his money from those companies that give out Medicare and Social Security. It's not just the government. All right. So anyways, in 5 months, I turned 65. And I don't know if I'm going to be retiring at that time or not. I can take my job as it is. I'm only working part-time, but I'm not very good at it. And today, for instance, I was supposed to put up 3 displays or stuff like that, and I was unable to put up any because I couldn't find them, or the supervisor. Well, normally I don't even go up to the supervisor of the store, but I found that there's no space available, there's no product available, there's no display available. It's a nightmare sometimes, but it's easy. I get paid for an hour to work for 15 minutes saying there's no display available to put up. All right, so anyways, about this, I got plenty of time. Anyways, about this, so if I did retire in 5 months, I do have some money, so I could live. First of all, you can work part-time or even full-time if you don't make that much money, and collect Social Security, and they won't deduct anything until you're like 72 or something. They don't deduct. If you're making $50,000, yeah, they're going to deduct. But if you're making less than $20,000 like I am, they're not going to deduct. But anyways, so I was in the hospital a couple of months ago. Oh, first of all, I have money because I have mutual funds, and I got those mutual funds when my parents died, and I got inheritance. So, and I was in the hospital for major surgery, and I don't believe that I'm going to be growing in old age, at least past 85 or something. I probably will run out of money then. But anyways, so one thing my sister's is doing is she is older than me, and she turned 71. Plus, she has diabetes, and she has to take a medicine every day and check her glucose and everything. So she is really growing old at like 75, even though she's 71. And she doesn't believe she'll have that many years ago to live. So what she is planning on doing is she already looked into and almost certain to buy a retirement community. And she explained it that it's 2,000 miles away, and she's going from Florida to Washington. And the reason that she's doing that is she wants to be closer to her son, her one son. And so she said that there's you live in a big place and you get your own small apartment, and the apartment does have a kitchen unit to it, but you don't have to cook if you don't want to. You can go downstairs and eat in the dining hall and meet other people and do other recreational things down there. So I hope she enjoys it down there. I'm not ready for it yet. I don't know if I live by myself as old as I possibly could without help. But I'm going to try. All right. All right. That is all. I know I was going to end early. I'll be back within a month, hopefully get you some better new film clips. I still enjoy doing this. I only have a part-time job, so why not get some hobbies in there? All right, I have talked way too much this show. Thanks for showing up. Bye.
Here's your host for Entertainment and Life, Thomas Bond.